The video game footage you're about to see is Battlefield 4, developed by DICE and published by EA. Please like and subscribe. Talk to y'all in a bit. What's up, people? JD here, and Microsoft will release an update soon to address the social issues with the console. Mark Whitten had to say this here, so the feedback we've gotten is pretty valid. Some of the social stuff is hidden or harder to use than it was on the Xbox 360. So you're gonna see us come out with an update where, well, we're going to fix those issues. Quote, as a person who's been pretty involved in building Xbox Live for the last decade, I take it pretty seriously when people say it's harder to get into a party, and the defaults aren't right, and I don't like that model. So what I'm trying to do with the team is kind of theme stuff out. Let's take an update and really go through a big list of what we're hearing from customers, what we know is broken with the architecture, areas that we want to improve or complete. I think that's a theme you'll really see us push on, that live experience. Clearly, stuff that's harder to do on the Xbox One than it was on Xbox 360. Which is kind of weird because this is supposed to be a more advanced system. One of the bigger things that they were pushing before the system's launch, and is still to be seen, and won't be available when this big update is supposed to be coming in soon, is Twitch. You won't be able to use your Xbox One as the source to broadcast your gameplay live. So I think there's a valid reason for that. If you guys go on Twitch right now on the PlayStation 4, quality on that is pretty terrible. So I think they're taking a look at that and they're trying to see what they can do to make that a better presentation on their consoles. So yeah, I don't have to worry about that right away. I have an Elgato. That's what I use to record all of my video gameplay. And it also has a feature in the software that allows you to use Twitch with the Elgato. And I have to say it worked pretty well for me when I first used it. So I'll use it more later on. Alright, let's talk about Sony. They just unveiled PlayStation Now. So I am a little late on this, but PlayStation Now is their answer to digital streaming your games over the cloud. Over at CES, they were demoing God of War Ascension. They were doing Last of Us, and I forget what the other game was, but looks like it's pretty workable. Now, they plan on using PlayStation Now on PlayStation 4s, PlayStation 3s, tablets, smartphones, and Sony Bravia TVs, and they plan on expanding the service onto other devices as time moves on. They're gonna have a closed beta for it during the end of this month to see how everything works out, and then they plan on rolling it out the summer of this year. So no prices have been announced, but I don't really know what to think about this. It's as good for the fact that you can get into your PS4, PS3 to play older games. The bad news is that if you already own digital versions of these games, those won't work. You can't just say, okay, I already own these, too bad, this is a different service, you're gonna have to pay to play. You can either pay a subscription or you can rent by title. I like the idea that they're rolling this out on their main devices like Bravia televisions, PlayStation 3s, PlayStation 4s, but I don't know how this is gonna work out for, certain retailers and online services such as GameFly or Redbox. It might, cut that off, but hey, you gotta do what you gotta do to make some money. And let me know what you guys think about this down below in the comment section. All this new information is just slipping my mind. Good news is that it only requires 5 megabytes a second from your internet connection, so you can actually have a good experience with PlayStation Now. Judging by the services that are provided by these internet service providers, 5 megabytes per second isn't that hard to attain. So myself, I'm running 40 megabytes a second. Let me know what your internet speeds are. Titanfall is in the news this week too, because recently Vince Zampella announced on Twitter that it's going to be a 6v6 for Titanfall on the Xbox One and Xbox 360. So a lot of gamers were actually kind of upset about it because they felt that 6v6 was not what they were portraying in all these gameplay trailers. It wasn't hyping it up enough. But in my opinion as well, they haven't played the game yet. I've seen a lot of different videos. I've been to E3. I've been to some other video game conferences and different shows, and the game looks pretty good. A lot of games do look good, but we will never find out how good a game is until you actually sit down, play the game yourself, see how you like it. We'll find out when the game releases in March. Another thing with Titanfall is that IGN did an interview with the developer of Respawn Entertainment, and they wanted to actually ask what was going on with the Xbox 360 version. Respawn Entertainment was like, this developer. They didn't want to tell anybody who the developer was that was working on the 360 version, which is kind of concerning. The customer base is still on the Xbox 360. Not everybody has converted to the Xbox One yet. The main part of your money is coming from the Xbox 360 version, so that has to be the version that has to stand out. I mean, don't get me wrong, the Xbox One and PC versions are going to look much better, and it'll probably play well too, but the Xbox 360 version needs to stand out just as well, because if that doesn't look pretty good, what makes you think they want to upgrade to the Xbox One or PC version of the game? WWE just announced the WWE Network, which will go live by the end of next month. This is big because this will allow you to watch pre-shows, post-shows of Raw and SmackDown. You will watch all 12 pay-per-views, including WrestleMania, for only $10 a month. You got thousands of hours of Raw, SmackDown. You can see the Monday Night Wars between WWE and WCW. You can see all the pay-per-views from WWF, WWE, WCW, and ECW. For $10 a month, why would you not do it? If you were a fan back then and you lost, touch with WWE because they went PG and the storylines are whack and they're calling fans the universe, what the hell is that? Erase all that. We can go all the way back to the Attitude Era where everything was cool, even before that, where things were exciting. I was just doing some research on Google, and it looks like DirecTV is having some issues with the WWE Network, because this is a better deal than going on DirecTV and paying $65 for one pay-per-view. So DirecTV said that they will be rethinking their relationship with WWE in terms of its pay-per-view packages. I got rid of cable, I got rid of DirecTV, because it's too expensive. I can't pay $60, $70, $80 a month for 2 or 3 channels that I watch every day. That's not worth the money. That's not value. I think this is more of a value for me for what I watch. This is something I watch all the time, and the pay-per-views alone, not $10 a month, is worth it. And DirecTV has a problem with it. I don't think WWE is gonna care. If WWE would be foolish to back out of this whole entire thing just because a Dish Network has an issue with it. They get hundreds of thousands of people watching their shows at least 3 times a week. They make their money. So DirecTV, y'all need to chill out. Alright guys, so I think this video has gone long enough, but I got 3 questions for you guys. Number 1, what is the biggest fix that Xbox needs right now? Question number 2, is PlayStation Now going to be a direct hit, or is it going to be a miss? Number 3, who is getting the WWE Network? I'll tell you right now, I'm getting it right at 11:06 p.m. on the 24th of February. So don't forget, you leave your comments. Please like and subscribe. I appreciate you guys watching, and I'll talk to y'all later. Peace.